So we are also live on YouTube now, sir.
Okay.
So I am presenting the launch screen now, sir.
Yeah, please.
Hello,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have now come to the third edition of our newsletter, which we call CV2, CV squared. There is actually Chennai Veterans Vibes. And as promised, we wanted to commemorate the Vijay Diwas event with the launch of our third newsletter, which is the Vijay Diwas edition. It's my proud privilege to launch it. And before I launch it, I want to say that there are the complete workmanship on this is credited only to two guys here. And that is our secretary, Wing Commander Harshavardhan, and our IT consultant and the editor, Wing Commander Ravi Shankar. Totally done by them. It's a huge volume of work, which I think they don't sleep at night. They work non-stop, and every day they innovate. And when you see this time, you will really find that there are so many changes. They are constantly innovating. So on behalf of the AFUA, I thank this great team. I call them the inseparable twins. I thank them for their contribution. So it's my proud privilege to inaugurate it. Please go ahead. You have to go to this thing, projection.
Ravi, no sound.
hello.
Ravi?
Yeah.
No sound.
Hello, hear me?
No sound.
It played for me here.
Okay. Sorry, my camera is not working, but I'm joining you.
Not working, Ravi.
Oh, sir, it played for me here, sir. Sorry about that, sir. Now I have clicked on to the newsletter per se. As soon as that opens up, I will just about browse through a couple of pages, and then. Sir, are you able to see my screen, sir?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to go to presentation mode.
I am in presentation mode, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, this is just browsing through a couple of pages of the ebook. And now I think I'll stop the presentation because at the end of the call, we'll be sharing the link with them, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
The link is shared in WhatsApp already. Mail I'll send in a couple of minutes.
Right.
So all yours now, sir.
Thank you. So when the program is over, you can go through our newsletter. It'll be there for you to download and enjoy reading our Chennai Veterans Vibes. My best wishes to all of you. It's time now. Harsha?
Another couple of minutes to go, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the fanfare was a bit of a problem, I guess. So it played for me here, but I think it did not carry through, sir. Sorry about that, sir.
Doesn't matter. No problem. Despite having an electronic wizard, IT wizard, there are problems. Maybe he'll get a little taller, you never know.
Indeed, sir. Never too late in life, sir.
I know.
1 minute to go, sir.
Yeah. Joe, sir, good afternoon, good evening. We missed you at the memorial.
Sir, we have 24 people.
It was too far away for me.
Ah, right.
So we have 25 people on YouTube, sir,
Okay, right.
and 34 here.
34. Is not good, huh?
We're good to go, sir.
Your wife's.
Yeah,
Again, mute all.
yeah, I'll do that.
Except Shankar Mahadevan.
Mr. Shankar Mahadevan is on.
Yes, sir. He was in the screen. 1 minute. Shankarji, can you just switch on your video, please?
Namaskaram, everybody.
Namaskaram.
It's my honor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my proud privilege on behalf of the Armed Forces Veteran Officers Association of Chennai to welcome Mr. Shankar Mahadevan. We all know how busy he is, but despite that, he has taken time off today. And he's taken time off. Specifically, he requested that it should be to coincide with the Vijay Diwas. It's a great honor you're doing to the veterans, Mr. Shankar Mahadevan. And today the Prime Minister has also launched the Swarnim Vijay Varsh. And may this year of celebration be a great success story and inspire our countrymen to do better and better and become stronger and stronger. I thank you very much for taking time off to come and participate with us. We watch many of your programs, and what we see in Tare Zami Par is really inspiring. I think you are going to create many more stars in the years to come. With this, I hand over to Secretary, Wing Commander Harshavardhan, who will introduce you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our eConnect series. This is the 19th program that we are doing since the lockdown started. And very special welcome and good evening to Mr. Shankar Mahadevan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we start off with Mr. Shankar Mahadevan's talk and his presentations, I would like to first give you a brief introduction about Shankarji. Mr. Shankar Mahadevan is one of the most successful singers and musicians India has witnessed in the recent times. It was with the launch of the now famous Breathless album that one could say that he became a household name. This album helped in establishing his credentials in the industry as a versatile singer and composer of a very high caliber. The beginning. Shankarji was very fortunate to have been born into a family of music lovers. His parents spotted his musical talents quite early, when he was around 4 years old. His early gurus were Srimati Lalita Venkatraman and Srimati T.R. Balamani. Shankarji always kept a very open mind when it came to music, and he believed in absorbing as much as he could from his various renowned teachers. After the strong grounding he received in Carnatic classical music, he went on to learn the art of singing bhajans, abhangs, and bhavgit. The God-given talent, excellent training, and hard work helped Shankarji reach where he is today. The open mind he kept helped him to identify outlets to express his finely tuned musical skills to its ultimate limit. He believed that this was the best way he could thank God for all the success he has been able to achieve. Shankarji is a qualified software engineer who made a deliberate decision to pursue a career in music, something he has not regretted doing. He began his journey by singing jingles for ad films. His soulful rendition of Kuch Khas Hai for Cadbury is something people still remember. Subsequently, his voice has been heard in a host of other commercials in various languages. Shankar Mahadevan, Ehsan Norani, and Lloyd Mendonça made their debut as composers in Mukul Anand's film Das. Ever since getting together, the three of them have been moving from strength to strength with each film they have directed music for. Shankarji has the honor of working with two legends of our times, Mr. Javed Akhtar and Gulzar on multiple projects. Shankarji has also been regularly lending his voice to films in the South. His songs in Tamil films have been a great rage here, and the song Enna Solla Pogirai from the hit film Kandu Kondeen got him the National Award for the Best Male Playback Singer. Besides Tamil, Shankarji regularly sings in Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, Gujarati, Marathi, and other regional languages. Shankarji on stage is a treat to watch since his talent and energy can keep an audience engrossed. Besides, he has a tremendous stage presence and is able to interact with an audience on a one-to-one basis. This is a gift which few artists possess. On stage, he has always swept the audience off their feet. The list of awards Shankarji has received is endless. Just quoting a few, he was awarded the Padma Shri in 2019. He has received 3 national awards as singer and 1 as music composer. He has received many awards from Filmfare, Apsara, Sansui, Stardust, Zee Cinema, etc. Shankarji has also performed in many international arenas. His online Shankar Mahadevan Academy, founded in 2010, is one of the top-rated online music schools teaching Indian classical music to students in 76 countries globally. He is married to Sangeeta and they are blessed with 2 sons, Siddharth and Shivam, and both of them are following the footsteps of their father in the field of music. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that intro, I now present before you Mr. Shankar Mahadevan, the legendary composer, actor, music director, and playback singer. Over to you, Shankarji. You
Oh
can
my God,
say a few words to
that
us
is,
and then we start.
Commander, that's such a humbling experience. Such an amazing, warm welcome and such a long introduction. But honestly, let me tell you what I am feeling today. Today, being in front of you people who have served the nation and been part of the forces, uh, always I feel so insignificant in front of you people. And, you know, uh, y'all are being so nice to me. It's an honor to me. And thank you. Thank you for your kind words. But all I can say is whenever there is an opportunity for me to serve you people through my music or any other way, I'm always available. In fact, when the first Vijay Diwas was celebrated in Kargil, we went and performed over there, under the flag. When the first flag they hoisted in the evening, and all they lit the memorial lamps over there, in memory of all those people who have lost their lives. We performed under that, and that is one of the greatest moments that I cherish. That I have done for my country, and thank you once again. And you know, it'll be an honor for me to talk with you, Commander, and and also sing a little bit, whatever little I know. I'd like to sing for you. So before we do anything, since I can see a lot of senior citizens out there, I'd like to just present a small prayer. This is a prayer which I'd say for this 2020, which has been such a strange year for all of us, so that whatever good bad energy, everything, it becomes a thing of the past, and let's look forward to a wonderful year that's coming, full of positivity and happiness and peace, and everybody stays safe. So with your permission, I'd like to just sing 2-3 lines of small prayers.
Please,
Yeah.
sir.
Vakratunda Mahakaya. My audio is okay, sir?
Yeah, okay, no problem.
सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलायतनो हरि मंगलायतनो तनो गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणवंदिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय वीरप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलक्षेत्रे गुरुसर्वसराराध्याय गुरुपुत्र परेत्राग्रे गुरुपाखण्डखण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणाधीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि धीमहि
Fantastic, Shankarji.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, now since you've told me that you wanted to be a sort of an interactive session, so I will start.
Yeah, I prefer that because I'm very bad at just going on speaking myself. It's easier for me to just sing, but for me to go on speaking, it becomes a little strange because I feel that I'm blowing my own trumpet all the time. So it's easier that you ask me questions and whatever you feel like, and in the middle, if I feel like singing something, if some song crops up in middle, I'll sing, and then we can go through my journey, and it'll be my privilege and my pleasure to spend these few minutes with veterans like you people.
Right, sir. So starting off with your journey, my first question to you is that your journey till now has been a fantastic one. I would say a dream run. You started off as an engineer, then you went on to dabble in music, and now you have set up your own music academy, and now you are in the role of a teacher. A real interesting journey, I would say. So can you tell us in a nutshell about your journey so far?
Sir, I am from a very, very simple middle class South Indian Brahmin, South Indian Brahmin family, and we used to stay in a small house in a suburb called Chembur. So many people may be aware of Chembur. Chembur, lot of Palakkad South Indian people are there. So I was born there only, and very, very humble beginnings. And my father used to work in Hindustan Petroleum. My mother is still with me. she's there with me. He passed away in 1990. And as you know, most of y'all, many of y'all are South Indians over here. You all know that in our culture, music is part of growing up. So uh, you just there are girls you will see going with the violin, boys going for mridangam classes, Bharatanatyam classes, all these things. So similarly, one day, I had gone to my uncle's house when I was about 4 years old in Coimbatore, and they had a bhajan session the previous night. And I was just 4 years old, and I went into one room, and they had kept all the instruments. They were supposed to pick it up the next day morning, and I saw an instrument lying in the middle of the room, and I don't even know what that instrument is. I straight away picked that instrument up, in the sense I sat near it and I started playing a song on that instrument. So that is where my musical journey started, and the connection between musical notes. Some people, they are just inclined towards certain things. Some people, they pick up a bat and they can just play comfortably on the field. And some people,
Yeah.
they maths comes to them very naturally. So similarly, I just went and there was this Hathi Mere Saathi one. I don't know if you'll remember the film. Hathi Mere Saathi one film was there. So there was a song called, Chal 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 Mere Saathi. And
Yes.
the notes are very simple. So I just straight away started playing. So I started playing that song without even knowing what that instrument is. And that is what my parents and all were wondering. How is he? I mean, we have never ever shown him a harmonium. He's just 4 years old. And how did he? And then, they started kind of testing me with, okay, can this go a little further? So they used to say, hey, Andapadu Ashira. So, some other, there was a famous singer called Pittukuli Murugadas at that time. So,
Yeah.
there was a song called Pachai Mayil Vaganane Bala Subra. So, it's Andapadu Ashira. So, I just started playing. So, the connection between a melody and its interpretation as notes just was there instantly, and that's what they realized. And so my
Okay, yeah.
parents were very, from simple, uh, uh, just a simple South Indian family, and they were wondering how this has happened. Nobody is a musician in the house. And and I started insisting that I should get I want a harmonium, and I started crying. I was just 4 years old, and we bought our first harmonium from Coimbatore, and that's where my journey started. And then I used to perform in smaller, functions here, there, some bhajan samaj and this. There was a small school nearby. I used to perform regularly in school. So what happens is the education period becomes part of your growing up and part of your development of music, confidence in handling the people. It all becomes a part of your growing up. These small, small little competitions that happen in the intra-school first, and then inter-school, and then go to college, and then all these malhars and avishkar and all these festivals, you representing your college, school, etc. And then people tell you from the side, oh, you're good, you're good, you're good. And that's when you realize that hey, I mean, there is a potential of being a musician. But I was in a South Indian family, and you know how it is, traditional South Indian family. You have, in those days, only two options. Either you can become a doctor or you become an engineer. So these were the two options available. So, and all my friends, they were, doing their thing. And I did fairly well in my 10th standard. And, quickly I had to decide what to do. Then I took science, then quickly decide what to do. Engineering, doctor, no, doctor, too much of studying. So let me go into engineering. So it was all moving at a great pace. And I finished my engineering also very successfully. And sir, my passports were also taken, because if you do computer engineering, immediately, I was working on Oracle, and Oracle is the in thing. So the minute you work on Oracle for 7-8 months, your passports are taken and you're shipped to the USA, like a million other engineers. So that was my scene, and my passports were already taken by my company and said that, okay, so in a few months you'll get your visa, get ready, pack your bags. We'll be sending you to whichever state in USA, we don't know, but you will be going over there. So that was happening. In the meantime, there was this musical career that was bubbling underneath. Every day I was singing some recording, some program, some film song, a little bit of a alap in a film song, 4 bars of something, an introduction music, nothing much. but that used to give me great joy, and soul satisfaction. I always was fascinated by the studio life, by performing, and the kind of energy that I got from there. I used to wonder, well, can't I just be here the whole time? This thought was also brewing, and here I was a successful engineer. And one fine day, I just decided, and I called my boss down. His name was Ram. I called him down to the parking lot, and he was going down to smoke a cigarette. I said, "Can I join you? I mean, I just want to talk to you." And I went down and I told him that, sir, tomorrow I'm changing my career. So he said, "What's wrong with you? I mean, you're going to the US now. In the next couple of months, you'll be in the US. You'll be earning very well. You can make your own house over there. Are you not satisfied with software? Do you want to get into hardware? You want to get into marketing? What's the scene?" "No, sir, I want to become a singer." So he thought that I've completely lost it. He thought that this guy's mad, and he's one of those crazy kinds. He said, "I mean, what is this nonsense? Yeah, this is a really lucrative career. Understand, you know, US is full of engineers." Then I explained to him, how it has been my passion, and, from my childhood, I've been singing. And in the meantime, there was a third story that was happening in my life. Is the lady with whom I was going around, and I was going to get married in the next few years. But I was very, serious with my wife, who's Sangeeta now. But she was my, fiance, and I was going around with her. And she told me a very interesting thing. She said that, I asked her, what do I do? I mean, here is one side, there is this career which is so beautiful. I know that we'll have a beautiful bungalow in New Jersey. We'll have 2, 3 cars, lovely, cushy life over there, very, very settled. And here is another path where everything is hazy. I don't know whether anybody is going to call me for a recording tomorrow, whether we are going to get whether my name is anybody's going to recognize me tomorrow, anybody will give me a song to sing, maybe a jingle. You never know. One whole month will go without any recording. I may not earn any money. So what do you say? So she said and I was just going around with her, and we were not even married. She said, I have a feeling, and this is what I feel, that looking at your caliber, I feel that there can be a million engineers who go to the US and make their living, but I think there is going to be only one Shankar Mahadevan. So I feel that you should stick around here and follow your passion. So those were the words that really changed and I said, I'm doing it. And my boss, Ram, he was also very sweet. He said, "You know what? I understand your passion. Go and follow your passion. And if anything happens, good for you. If nothing happens, the doors of this company is still open. Even after 2 years, you just come back and, you can join our company back." So that is where my musical journey started, sir. And here I am in front of all these legends over here sitting, and I am giving an interview. I just can't believe this, really.
Great. Wonderful, sir.
அப்பப்போ தமிழ பேசினா ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்குமே. Like to hear
இல்ல
in
சார்,
Tamil.
சில பேர் வந்து நான் தமிழர்ஸ் இருப்பா இல்லையா, வந்து then that's not fair to them.
இல்ல பாதி
But see the thing, நம்ம ஆளுங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் இங்கிலீஷ் தெரியும். So they all understand English, but other people cannot understand Tamil, So this problem happens to me even when I come to Chennai or any other places where there are a lot of Tamil. I always tell them, Tamil people, they will listen to other language songs also. But once we sing in Tamil for non-Tamilians, then it becomes a problem. They are not able to understand it. That is the only reason. Otherwise, I don't know. எனக்கு ஒரு ப்ராப்ளமே இல்லை தமிழ்ல பேசுறது. But I can understand there are other people who are non-Tamilians, so it will be unfair to them. That's all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Shankari. Thank you. Shankari, my next thing I want to ask you is that at the age of 6, you started learning to play the veena from Srimati Lalita Venkatraman. At the age of 10, you came under the tutelage of Srimati T.R. Balamani, who inculcated the strong classical bass in you. Later, you went on to learn the art of singing bhajans, abangs, and bhavgeets from Sri Srinivas Kale, who is reputed to be among the finest composers in the Marathi music world. You also had the good fortune to train under Srimati Taradev. Now, my question to you, maybe it's a very difficult one, but I just want to know from you, who amongst these 4 have had the biggest impact on you?
I'll tell you, sir, staying in Mumbai, you are exposed to a very cosmopolitan kind of environment. You are exposed to a lot of, if you go to Madunga, it's like being in Chennai. You know, நிறைய தமிழ் பேர் இருப்பாங்க. There are a lot of Tamil people, but there is also Marathi culture. There's also Gujarati. There are so many cultures over here. So, you know, this is a great place for you to learn various things. So my attitude of always remaining a student has made me, you know, venture into so many genres of music. But my foundation and the grounding in music is through Carnatic classical music, because that is my the grammar of, you know, my language of music, and I've learned that from Mrs. T.R. Balamani, where, you know, uh, how to apply Indian classical music in any genre of music. You know, that is what she taught me. She didn't teach me just, you know, composition after composition, or, you know, rag after rag. That doesn't make sense. She taught me principles of music, you know, which you can, if you see, um, uh, I've applied so many things which are so unconnected to each other. You know, for example, if you sing a bhajan, uh, like Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari, 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 Jai Jai Ram Krishna. What is this? This is called Nama Sankirtan. What happens is you sing one line and the crowd repeats. You sing one line, the crowd repeats. You sing one line, crowd repeats. This principle, do you know in which song I have applied? You will not be able to imagine. This song, this principle, I have applied in a super hit song called Kajrare.
Oh,
So you wonder how that is. You see the principle of Kajrare. Kajrare, Kajrare, tere kare kare naina. Repeat. Kajrare, Kajrare, tere kare kare naina. O tere naina, tere naina, tere naina chupke naina. Repeat. Tere naina. The principle, it's not a melody. The principle of Nama Sankirtana I've used in Kajrare. So this is what, you know, a teacher teaches you amazing things where your foundation becomes so strong. So my foundation became strong because of Mrs. T.R. Balamani, where I could use the principle of Carnatic music, whether I sing, you know, Yana Solla Pogirai, or whether I sing Rock On, or whether I sing Kajrare, or whether I sing any other song, maybe a Tapanguttu song, whatever it is, it's the grounding in Carnatic music that helps me. So it is T.R. Balamani, undoubtedly.
fine, sir. As a Sankarji, now, you have set up this Shankar Mahadevan Academy of Music along with your friend Sridhar Ranganathan.
Yeah.
How did this idea of an online music academy come about? And can you tell us something about this online academy?
I'll tell you something, sir. There's a lot to talk about the academy, and I'm really proud of it. You know, Sridhar Ranganathan was my colleague in my engineering days, and then of course, like all other engineers, he went to the USA, he went to San Francisco, and he, you know, made a big name there. He sold his company to Yahoo, and, you know, when the IT boom happened, all those things he did. He was very successful for some reason, but he wanted to come back to our country and, you know, do something in our country which is worthwhile, other than, you know, staying in the US and, you know, increasing somebody else's turnover. You know, he wanted to come back to India, and I was already here, you know, doing my music. So after a long time, we met and we decided to launch this first virtual online music academy. Now, this is not an academy which, like many of the people, they take classes on Skype. You know, like, oh, today is my class. What time log in? You send a login ID. It's not like that. It is a fully functional academy on the web, and you have to log in. You're given a student ID, and there are courses over there. There are, you know, examinations over there. We have more than 80 teachers teaching in our academy, and our academy is functional 24/7. This is the only academy which is functioning 24/7, because we are, yeah, when you read it, that was from Wikipedia, 76 countries. Right now we are in 81 countries. Okay, so now we have already reached 81 countries, and we have students from all over the world. As we speak, some student is learning from some teacher from some country. You know, it's like that. And besides that, sir, you know, I always wanted to use music as a tool to give joy to everybody. It's not only about everybody should become a professional singer and go out there on the stage and sing. So we are teaching music to the underprivileged. We have a project called Inspire India, where there's an area called Dharavi in
Yes.
Mumbai. In Dharavi alone, we have 1,000 students, because it's
Oof.
and that it's a CSR activity from our, where we do not charge. We charge a very, very, very meager fee, which is just enough to pay the teachers and all that. So this is Inspire India project. Then we have one more project which is called SMA Shankar Mahadevan Academy Muskurahat, where we are performing, our teachers, our students, and sometimes myself, we perform for the terminally ill patients. So there are various places like there are in Bangalore, and so online we come and we just spend an evening with these people who do not have any cure, and the joy that they get. Now during this COVID times, there was this NSCI dome was converted into a big hospital, as you know. There were like a few hundred beds over there and doctors and living over there. So we put up a giant screen over there, and our teachers and our students, we performed for all the patients. Some of them were cancer patients, some were COVID patients, and the doctors and everybody. And the kind of soul satisfaction you get, and you realize that music has got a greater purpose than only entertaining people. You can bring about a lot of change. You can bring about a lot of happiness to people's mind. So my goal is to to teach music to each and everyone who wants to learn music.
Okay, now I will ask you a question again related to this. Now,
Yeah.
with this online teaching, will it not bring about a disconnect between the guru and the Sishya? Don't you think there will be there will be less influence of the guru on the Sishya by doing online classes?
No, all these doubts we have answered all these doubts 10 years back when we started the academy. Whether this is, sir, let me see. The thing is, if we just station ourselves in one time zone and refuse to move ahead, no, we will be there itself, and the time will move ahead, the world will move ahead, technology will move, people will adopt other things, and you will remain where you are. This is what Gulzar Saab told me. Gulzar Saab, we asked him, how are you so young? How are you so young, even though you're 87 years old? How do you write like this? He's saying कि मैं अपने जो मेरे से जो youngsters हैं, उनका हाथ थाम के मैं उनके साथ चलता हूँ. See, you have to move with time. The only constant in people's lives are change. Now, would you believe that we would have conducted this Vijay Diwas using technology like this? Now, aren't we? Isn't this a great thing? Where we are all celebrating. We are using technology for a benefit. So we have to use technology to our benefit, and it has worked great, sir. Trust me. There are thousands. My academy has got more students than any academy anywhere in the world. Now, what else do you want? So it is already proven successful. And there are disadvantages. You can't have a touch and feel of your guru. But hey, you win some and you lose some. You can record each and every class of yours. Now, if you want to remember that 10 Wednesdays back, something my guru had told me, I want to see what he or she had done. You can go back to your class, rewind to your class, and you can see your own interaction, what you had, what is the mistakes you made. So there are tremendous advantages. And e-education is the future. So let us face it. We can't remain stuck in one time zone, and right now students do not have time to go. They used to stay 18 hours in a guru's house, washing the vessels and washing the clothes and all. Sorry, whatever little classical music is there in our country, that will also vanish.
Yeah, I agree with you totally.
Yeah.
Okay, now before I move on to my next question, can we have a little bit of a song?
Of course. I'd like to dedicate one song to the forces, to all you people, who have, dedicated your lives to our country, and we won this. We won this war, and we are celebrating the Vijay Diwas. So a song that is dedicated, and it was picturized also at the NDA, and it's a very, very beautiful song which is written by Javed Akhtar Saab, and we did music for a film called Laksh. It was about the army and about the forces. So यही रास्ता है तेरा, तूने अब जाना है। हाँ यही सपना है तेरा, तूने पहचाना है। तुझे अब ये दिखाना है, रोके तुझको आंधियां या जमीन और आसमां, पाएगा जो लक्ष्य है तेरा, लक्ष्य को हर हाल में पाना है। ओ, 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 मुश्किल कोई आ जाए तो, पर्वत कोई टकराए तो, तूफान कोई मंडलाए तो, ताकत कोई दिखलाए तो, तूफान कोई मंडलाए तो, ताकत कोई दिखलाए तो, तू चल यूं ही अब सुबह शाम, रुकना झुकना नहीं तेरा काम। तू चल यूं ही अब सुबह शाम, रुकना झुकना नहीं तेरा काम, पाएगा जो लक्ष्य है तेरा, लक्ष्य को हर हाल में पाना है। भारत माता की जय. Okay, now I'm sure there are a lot of Tamilians over here. I'd like to sing a song in Tamil for you people. Okay, this is the song that kind of gave me my identity, you know, in Tamil Nadu, and many people all over the Tamilians all over the world who recognized my voice. And I'd like to thank my dear friend A.R. Rahman for that, because it was a song for one of his films, and this is how it goes. Can anybody guess which song this is? Correct. வராக நதிக்கரை ஓரம் ஒரே ஒரு பார்வை பார்த்தேன், புறாவே நில்லுன்னு சொன்னேன், கண்ணாபாய் ஓடி மறைஞ்சு. வராக நதிக்கரை ஓரம் ஒரே ஒரு பார்வை பார்த்தேன், புறாவே நில்லுன்னு சொன்னேன், கண்ணாபாய் ஓடி மறைஞ்சே. கண்ணில் வரும் காட்சி எல்லாம் கண்மணிய உருத்தும், காணாத உருவம் கண்ணுக்குள்ள இனிக்கும். கண்ணில் வரும் காட்சி எல்லாம் கண்மணிய உருத்தும், காணாத உருவம் கண்ணுக்குள்ள இனிக்கும். கண்ணு தக்கு தக்கு தக்குங்குது, ஓ உள்ள தக்கு தக்கு தக்குங்குது, ஓ நெஞ்சு ஜல்லு ஜல்லு ஜல்லுங்குது, ஓ சொல்லு 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 சொல்லுங்குது. வராக நதிக்கரை ஓரம் ஒரே ஒரு பார்வை பார்த்து, புறாவே நின்னு சொன்னேன். நீ என்ன கடந்து போகவில்லை, நிழல பிடிச்சுக்கிட்டேன். நீ என்ன கடந்து போகவில்லை, நிழல பிடிச்சுக்கிட்டேன். நிழலுக்குள்ள குடியிருக்கேன், உடம்பு பட்டு உசு பட்டு தள்ள நிக்க, கிழிஞ்ச நெஞ்சை எதை கொண்டு நான் நினைக்க. ஓ தவிழி பார்வை ஊடுருவ பார்த்து தாப்பா தெரிச்சிருச்சு, தாப்பா தெரிச்சிருச்சு. கண்ணு தக்கு தக்கு தக்குங்குது, ஓ உள்ள தக்கு தக்கு தக்குங்குது, ஓ சொல்லு 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 சொல்லுங்குது, ஓ உள்ள சொல்லு சொல்லு சொல்லுங்குது. வராக நதிக்கரை ஓரம் ஒரே ஒரு பார்வை பார்த்து, புறாவே நின்னு சொன்ன கண்ணாப ஓடி மறைஞ்ச கண்ணில் வரும் காட்சி எல்லாம் கண்மணிய ஊரும் காணாத ஊருவம் கண்ணுக்குள்ள இனிக்கும் கண்ணுக்குள்ள இனிக்கும் கண்ணுக்குள்ள இனிக்கும் Mama mama gamare gama gamare bagare dani gama gamare bagare gama bani dani da baba dani da baba bani da baba bani da baba bani magare dani da gama bani dani da baba bani da baba bani da baba magare dani Gama bani dani da baba bani da dani da baba bani da baba bani da கண்ணில் காட்சி எல்லாம் கண்மணிய உருது காணாத மோரோ கண்ணுக்குள்ள இனியோ Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful Tamil song. Beautiful, sir, beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Shankarji, S-E-L.
You need not call me Shankar Ji, sir. I'm very, very junior. You can call me Shankar. Yeah.
Okay, I call you Shankar. Okay, now this S-E-L, Shankar Eshan Loy. It's a big brand today. What is the success formula of S-E-L?
It's very interesting. Actually, it started from our advertising. We used to work in advertising a lot. A lot of jingles in various languages. We used to compose and produce for television. And Mumbai is a city where all languages happen. All 10 languages used to happen over here. All the dubbings and multiple. So we used to work a lot, and we used to work together. And every time we used to work together on a project, when it was Shankar Ehsan Loy, the feeling was great. It's just God has His own ways. He just connects people. The chemistry is right. He just gets you all together, and the feeling is so beautiful when you work together. And then we were approached by a very big filmmaker called Mukul Anand, and he wanted to make a film where he wanted to do a patriotic song for our country. A patriotic song, but he had a brief to that. He said that, I want a patriotic song, but I don't want that playing only for Republic Day and Independence Day, I want that patriotic song to be played in every club. I want that patriotic song to be played in every wedding. Whenever there's a cricket match, this patriotic song has to be played. I want that kind of an anthemic feel to it. And we created the song. But unfortunately, Mukul Anand, he died. He passed away suddenly. But we thought that our careers, before it's taking off, it's already over. That was the feeling that we had. Shankar Ehsan Loy. This song, it just came in, and that is when we had won the Kargil War also. This song was played in every Indian's house, and it just, shook people's emotions. So this is the song. सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो, चाहे जितना जोर लगा लो, सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी, हिंदुस्तानी। हमने कहा है, तुम भी कहो, हमने कहा है जो तुम भी कहो. So this was a song, and it played. It's like almost Mukul's dream has come true. You see this playing at discos. It plays in weddings. It plays in, of course, in functions which are related to patriotism. Everywhere you see this song plays. His dream came true, and slowly, our career took off. But there was this one film that we did. That film was a game changer amongst films. It really changed the way people looked at Bollywood as, it's okay. This film was really a, classily made film. It was a great script, great acting, music really worked. And the film was Dil Chahta Hai, कभी न बीते चमकीले दिन ओ दिल चाहता है हम ना रहे कभी यारों के दिन ओ दिन दिन भर हो प्यारी बातें झूमे शामें गाए रातें मस्ती में रहे डूबा डूबा हमेशा समा हमको राहों में यूं ही मिलती रहे खुशियाँ दिल चाहता है. So this was the film that really kind of gave us an identity and brought us to the forefront, and people started recognizing Shankar Ehsan Loy, and slowly you know it was like a snowball effect. One film, and luckily for us, most of the films that we did, our music reached the number one in the charts, and it became super hits, and blah blah blah. All those things happened, and by God's grace, we got our recognition, and we are here. I mean, still doing. After we finished 25 years of composing, actually 25 years, we just finished in 2020,
Wow.
and we are still there going strong because we just did a Amazon music series called Bandish Bandits. I don't know if anybody have seen it.
Yeah.
It's totally about classical
Yes.
music. So we did that. That became a super hit. So God has been more than kind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. That was leading you to this next question. This Bandish Bandit, which I mean, me and my wife have seen this, the full series.
I hope
Okay.
you like it.
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful series. We're waiting for the next season, by the way. We're waiting when it's going to come, the next season. Now, today's music is full of remixes and other things. And but in this, what is there in the present day, you have successfully really weaved classical music into a TV series and catered to a wider audience. Now, how confident were you that this your classical style of thing for this Bandish Bandit would be accepted, and what made you go for it?
Sir, I feel like this fish called salmon. The salmon, it always flows against the tide. You know, the tide is on one side, and the salmon they swim against the tide all the way. So there is one tide. There is the stream is flowing in one direction, and the entire industry and entire now there are many other things here, like they have their own marketing team, the music companies, they have people who are decision makers who have got nothing to do with music. They do not know ABC of music, and they are the people who decide that this is the song that we have to put out, this is not the song that we are supposed to put out, this is the music director. So it's a big mess actually, and we are here, Shankar Ehsan Loy, going against the stream. So when Bandish Bandits came to us, uh, we said, we will do the project. When they asked us whether it was a mammoth project, because it's a 10-episode series with only Indian classical music in it. Pure form of Bandish is there. There is Thumri is there. There is, there's Bhajan is there. All Tarana is there. All these are very, very, in-depth forms of Indian classical music. We had to do that. So I said that I will only do it if you allow me to do it in the purest form. If you feel, if any kind of commercial angle comes into your mind and say that, hey, you know what, why don't we twist this and make it a little modern so that it becomes a little more commercial and works in this market, I said I will leave the project and go. And only, sir, if you do a particular thing with conviction, it's you have to have that 100% conviction and do it, fully, wholly, having faith. Only when we have faith in a particular project will the people also have faith. And that's why we just composed these beautiful bandish, like lab par aaye geet purane maane na jera na 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 ne so you don't get to hear melodies like this anywhere, And I composed this in the car, by the way, on my phone. I just composed it in. So we said we'll keep it pure because I'm sure that this is going to be like a breath of fresh air that comes when people are going to accept it. To a certain extent, towards the end of the project, even people like Amazon and people, they were a little shaky. They would say, can we keep? I said, no, let us just stick to the purity. Let us just not adulterate this thing, because at the end of the day, this is our culture. If we showcase it in a pure form to our audience, they are going to. And trust me, sir, I'm telling you, there are a couple of disco songs also in the series
Yeah,
because the girl is a very modern because of the character.
modern.
She's a
Yeah.
pop sensation. The youngsters of today, they have lapped up the thumri. They love a beautiful, song called Viraha. Teri sakhi main ange ange aaj rang डाल दूं, अपनी जी से प्रेम रंग कैसे मैं उतार दूं, मेरी सखी. Stuff like this. This the youngsters. Even you should see the social media, Twitter. They're gone. It has gone through the roof, and now they are all convinced. They say, "Ah, yeah, what you said was right." So it was a battle, you know. It was literally, it was. I feel like that fish salmon which goes against the stream, and finally you have to reach your destination somehow. So that's how it was.
It was really, I mean, Bandish Bandit, your music was fantastic. I mean,
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure people who have not seen this series now will get back to
Yeah,
seeing it very soon from our audience.
yeah. Please watch it. It's called
Okay.
Bandish
Now,
Bandits,
so,
Bandit, and it's on Amazon Prime.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now, you have been an integral part of this Remember Shakti,
Mm.
comprising of the great legends like John McLaughlin, Ustad Zakir Hussain, late U. Srinivas, and Silva Ganesh. And I performed with them at the Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland. And you were part of the album Shakti, which was nominated for the Grammys. Tell us about your experience of working with this great team.
You know, there is this saying that people say that, you know, if you have an intention in your life and you put out that intention very strongly, the universe just gives you what you want. But your intention has to be very pure and very strong. So, you know, when I was in school and college, Shakti was a legendary band, and you know, I was I was crazily in love with their music. I did not know any of them, you know. I was like any other music student. And we used to go and buy cassettes of Shakti and put it and, you know, study it like almost studying a book, you know, and learning the music, trying to understand, analyze what these great musicians are playing. And deep down, my desire was, you know, at least, you know, I should be able to meet these people. I should be able to at least take a picture with these people. I should, you know, I should know these people somehow, you know, and, you know, spend some time with them. That was my deep intention, and my love for them was so pure. One fine day, I get a call from, you know, Fazal Qureshi, Tawfiq Qureshi, who is Zakir Hussein's younger brother, and said that, you know, John McLaughlin, we call him John G. John McLaughlin is auditioning for a voice for this band Shakti. And, you know, Zakir Bhai has recommended your voice. Can you just send a clipping? So I was recording something in the studio. I just quickly shut everything. I just sang about 5 minutes of a rag todi, and I sent it to him on a CD, you know, quickly printed a CD and I sent it to him. And next I know was, you know, the next tour, I was part of Shakti. And sir, and I traveled with Shakti for 15 years. We were on the road. We were traveling on the road for 15 years. So it's a very strange feeling when I look back and I say, I mean, there was this fanboy who was listening to the music, and suddenly I'm on stage with these maestros sitting and I'm performing at all the jazz festivals all over the world music festivals, you know, everywhere. So it is a humbling experience, and these are musicians who are, you know, beyond imagination. Their musicality is something else. Yeah.
Back to the headphone.
Okay, now, Shankar, I will just move on a little bit from music to a different thing. I remember reading somewhere that you are an excellent cook and you like dabbling in new recipes. So, can you tell us something about Shankar the chef?
You know, I really feel that creating a dish is like, you know, creating a song. Honestly speaking, I'll tell you why. It's not a joke actually. Here you have your raw ingredients. You know, you want to make sambar. You have a sambar powder. You have your, you know, you have your vegetables. You have your dal. You have your spices and everything. And over here, you want to create a song. You have your sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. You have your, you know, drums. You have your bass. You have your mridangam. You have your. These are your raw ingredients. And if you want to, and you have to put these together in a very, very proper proportion. You have to have You cannot just put 10 spoons of salt and and it will become totally disproportionate. Similarly, in a song, you can't you cannot put the drums right on your face and hide the voice right behind. You have to put it in the correct proportion. So it is like creating a dish. And one thing that is similar is, in both these art forms, you need a lot of love. If you want to make the best sambar, you have to have that love, and that is when you create the beautiful sambar. And similarly, over here, if you want to create the beautiful song, you have to create it with a lot of love and compassion. That is when a melody comes out, which is beautiful. So I relate this a lot, and I've been interested in cooking all my life. And seriously, if I wouldn't have been an engineer or a musician, I would have definitely been a chef. So I cook everything from South Indian to Thai food to Chinese food to Italian to Mexican to all kinds of stuff. And my cooking is not a hobby; it is a very serious passion. Yeah. So all the chefs are my friends. So I keep calling them up and bothering them. Hey, I mean, how do I get this? How do I do this? Which is I one my very close friend's mother was there. I sat down. I told everybody else to leave the room, and the perfect sambar powder, recipe I took from her, and I gave it to my staff over here, and so I see to it that it's perfectly made. So that kind of stuff. So very passionate about it.
Great, great, wonderful. Okay, now, like you mentioned earlier, this year 2020 has been something which everyone wants to forget about. So, moving on, what are your plans for 2021? Any new album coming up, especially with your sons, or any new collaborations in the offing?
I really feel blessed because this 2020 was a very strange year, but in a way, it was a big eye opener for me. Because by God's grace, I was so busy all the time. All the time, I was just running from pillar to post, performing or thinking or composing or making deadlines meet or delivering films, doing shows. All the time I was running around. This was a time when I found some time to sit back, think, introspect. You leave space for, you need a little breathing space for innovation. So this was the time which I spent for innovating, and also improving my art form, thinking, just and spending time with the family, spending time with the children. It was, I think, on one hand, of course, there's a lot of suffering happening all over the world, but on a personal front, I think it was one time which I'm never going to get back in my life. I really feel that I've utilized this time in a very positive way, and a lot I have learned myself in this. And looking at 2021, of course, the music is going to continue. Uh, my academy, we are launching a lot of beautiful avenues through music, not only entertainment, not just sitting to and listening to a person singing and enjoying the music. It's not about that. Bringing about a change in people's lives through music. Meditation for senior citizens. People are there. There are so many senior citizens who are, above 70, 75, 80, who are there if they can spend 1 hour with music, they have an amazing companion. It's amazing. So a facility has to be given to senior citizens for sitting and praying, teaching them, and meditating, learning our art form, and teaching under. We have a joyful choir, by the way. Joyful choir is a full choir of autistic children, because all autistic children, they respond to one thing for sure, and that is music. They may not respond to your regular voice commands, but music they respond to. And you should see the way they are singing. They are so happy. That 1 hour that they spend in learning music, it's the happiest moment of their life. So we're trying to do more and more. So sky's the limit. I really feel that I've not even scratched the surface. So this is just the beginning.
Oh my God. Okay. Now, Sagarji, I'm sure our audiences have some more questions, but before I go on to them, I have two people here with me who have been wanting to say hello to you. I'll just call
Uh-huh.
them. 1 minute.
All right. But I can't see you, sir. Where did you vanish?
I'm here. Here's the.
Hi,
Oh my
Shankarji.
God! This is a surprise.
Ah, how are
I was
you?
going to. Okay, for everybody, there is Rasika and then Siddharth. Oh my God, she is, Rasika is, we are privileged to play with Rasika. She's the most talented, girl in the country who's a multifaceted artist. She's a Carnatic music enthusiast and a singer, and she sings ghazals with Ghulam Ali Khan Saab. She used to travel. She plays the flute. She's performed with John McLaughlin in Spain, and we have had the good fortune of performing with Rasika. So it's amazing. And Siddharth, lovely seeing you. Oh my God, this is
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
truly
so
a surprise.
much.
Thank you, Shankar.
We loved, we were watching the interview from the other room. Just
Oh
loved it,
God,
loved it.
now I'm more embarrassed.
Shankarji, if you are wondering how we are here, that is my father and mother who.
I know. And and you know what? When Sir contacted us and when Sir spoke to me, he saw to it that he's not using your names to he that is the beauty, and that is what really touched me, sir. And I said, no, I have to do this for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys, hey, come over home quick. We have to meet soon.
Done, when we're back.
We are
Sure.
really
Arey,
back,
play.
Shankarji.
You don't have your flute here. Play for all the audience who are watching now. No?
I will. Sure. After you finish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Please take it.
Thank you.
Lovely, lovely.
In fact,
Yeah, take care.
Rasika released her latest video today, so she'll be sharing it with you.
Wonderful,
Okay.
wonderful.
She'll be
No,
wanting.
she's
to tell
blessed.
you.
She's blessed.
That's why
Absolutely blessed.
Great, sir. Great. So, well, I have a few more questions, but then I think, ladies and gentlemen, any questions anybody have, kindly raise your hand. Or
Yeah,
kindly
please
put
don't
them
ask
in the
difficult
box.
questions, huh, please. Yeah.
I have a question, Shankarji.
Yes.
In fact, you won't remember, but I have seen you at Avalon Heights School when you came to drop your younger son, and I came to drop my grandson. We just said hello and got introduced. It's so nice to have met you. And I just want to ask you, how did you get the idea for the album?
Sorry, your voice got cut, sir.
Breathless album.
Oh, breathless.
Yeah.
You know that. Javed Akhtar Saab and myself, we were supposed to do an album together. And it was very exciting to meet the legend who's written Sholay and Diwar and Shakti, and we were sitting and we were, discussing as to what to do. So he had this idea that whenever we do when we see classical musicians singing, so, there are these strange kind of curves and paths that are undiscovered paths that musicians sing, like so these are all strange parabolas, as they say, and when we sing a song, it's very structured. When we are improvising, we really fly high. So he said, can we have a song which does not have a form, which does not have a pallavi and a charanam and a music in between? Just, it just goes seamlessly. Can we do a song like that? So I said, yeah, this sounds very interesting. And I gave him a meter, I just gave him this meter, said, Javedji, you write to this meter, and he said, yeah, that's good. Okay, let me just write something. And after about a few days, he said, okay, come over. I have got something for you. And then he handed over about 3 or 4 full-scape sheets. It looked like a magazine article, actually. I said, what is this? He said, this is your Breathless song. Now you compose it. It looked dangerous, because there were words from top to bottom, and I was wondering, how am I going to do this, and what have I got myself into? And then I went down. He used to stay in Juhu, and I used to stay in Navi Mumbai. I went down, and in the taxi, I used to have a small dictaphone at that time. So from Juhu, I started putting down one line after the other, composing onto my dictaphone, and by the time I reached Navi Mumbai, Breathless was composed. So through the traffic of Mumbai, I composed Breathless, and then of course a lot of music production to it, orchestration, implementation. It takes a while, and then finally we came up. And if you ask me, that is the song in one breath, it is not in one breath. But I do sing it in every show. So I mean, it's just a great song. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Shankar, there is a question for you from Commodore Rajaram. He's put it in our chat box. I'll
Yes.
just read it out to you. How
Your voice is broken,
voice,
sir.
wind, and acoustic instruments.
I can't hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you balance pure music, that is voice, wind, and acoustic instruments, etc., with electronic keyboards, pitch changers, and beatboxes? Where do you lay your stress on?
I didn't understand the question. I mean, are you saying that how do you balance it out?
Yeah.
See, it is, it's like you should use technology to your advantage. You should not depend on technology for your art form. Are you understanding? Now,
Yeah.
if you have, I mean, you had a Polaroid camera where you used to take the roll and you used to go and wait for 3 days for it to develop and wait and then get those photographs. And once you click a photograph, you can't click another one because your roll is over. That used to be the technology of the past. Now you have a digital camera. Now you cannot, just because you have a digital camera does not mean you'll click a great photograph. You have to be a good photographer to click a good photo, even with the digital camera. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So you should use technology to enhance your art form and not depend on technology, because now there are rhythmic loops available. You buy any computer, there is a music software inside, and anybody can go into that and he can produce a loop over there. Now you can't, if you're not a musician, you just can't say that, oh, I'm also a musician, let me also put some loops down. Many people are doing that. So if you do that, it's a disaster. But if you already, your core competence is music, you've studied the art form, you know the fundamentals of, classical music, and then you use technology to enhance it, then it becomes a great product. Because technology, believe me, can really, really change stuff. It can give you clarity, it can give you the best sound, but you don't depend on that for creating a good song. It's like, if you don't have a good melody, it's like dressing up a dead man with the best suit in town. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So.
Okay.
Shankar,
I have a lot of requests on the chat box for you to sing an abang.
Oh yeah, why not? Yeah.
A lot of requests.
एका जनार्दनी शरण येते माहेरची आठवण एका जनार्दनी शरण येते माहेरची आठवण येते माहेरची आठवण माझे बाहेर पंढरी आहे भीमरीच्या तीरी आहे भीमरीच्या तीरी.
Great, sir. Great.
I have a question, sir.
Well, Vishwanathan has got a question for you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Shankar, your online academy, at what age do you start teaching these children?
Sir, my youngest student is 3.5 years old, and the oldest student is 92 years old. So everybody has got a scope. Yeah.
Because my grandson is little less than 3. His father sings and he plays it on the keyboard at times. I mean, he likes to play it on the keyboard.
It's a great way. I have developed a course called Grow with Music. If you tell a 3-year-old to sit down and just do sa re ga ma for 5 hours, he'll run away because they don't have patience. So you have to introduce them to elements of classical music in a very fun play way method. Touch and introduce them to new instruments, what kind of music, play songs for them, and make it like a fun activity. So that's why we have a course called Grow with Music, which tiny tots like that will definitely enjoy. So I would advise you, please, please try it out. I mean, at the end of the day, what will happen? You can just stop going to the class. It's okay if you don't like it, but try it at least. I really feel that's why I've developed the courses also 12 weeks each. It's like almost like a video game which you go on progressing. So it's just 12-week modules, So see a 12-week course and see whether you all are enjoying it. All of you all can join. I'll be proud to say that all these people from the forces are part of my academy. It will be such an honor, really.
Great, sir.
And
great.
believe me, a great peace of mind. Yeah.
Shankarji, if it will not be too much, there is a request for a Tamil song, patriotic song, in Tamil, preferably Bharatiya type, whatever.
I don't know. I know a Bharatiya song, which is not a patriotic song though.
Any Tamil song.
காக்கை சிறகினிலே நந்தலாலா கரிய நிறம் தோன்றுதடான பார்க்கும் மரங்கள் எல்லாம் நந்தலாலா பார்க்கும் மரங்கள் எல்லாம் நந்தலாலா உந்தன் பச்சை நிறம் தோன்றுதடான காக்கை சிறகிலே நந்தலாலா நந்தலாலா நந்தலாலா.
There is a question for you from Major Raghavan. He wants to know whether you have anytime done a full-fledged Carnatic kacheri.
Oh yes, I've done a lot of kacheris. In my initial days, I started off with a kacheri only, and in fact, I just did a kacheri for Savai Gandharva also a few years back. Which is Bhimsen Joshi's greatest music festival that happens in Pune. Then I have done in Cleveland the Tyagaraja Utsavam. I have performed there. I've done a lot of kacheris because my training has been in Carnatic classical music. But I just feel that my riyaz, as you call it, riyaz is the kind of practice and the time that I'm supposed to put into Carnatic classical. I'm not putting in, though I can sing a kacheri tomorrow. But I just feel that I need to work a little more and practice a little more to do a full-fledged kacheri. Yes.
Okay, there's a question for you from M. Marshall Watman in the chat box. He says,
yes, sir.
What kind of songs do you sing in Shakti band? Can you sing? Can you sing?
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Well, it's a jazz, Indian jazz fusion band. So I sing this. Giriraja Sudha Tanaya Sadaya Giriraja Sudha Tanaya Sadaya Giriraja Sudha Tanaya. So this kind of a song, which is harmonized and with a modern rhythm section by Ustad Zakir Hussain, Selva Ganesh. It's a very interesting concept. Yeah.
Okay. Next, there's a question for you from Colonel Bhupinder Singh. Bhupi, kindly ask your question.
Sir, good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
I know I'm Colonel Bhupinder Singh, and I know that you have sung in most of the languages. The other day when I was seeing Kapil Sharma's show, and there Harshdev was there, and on 550th birthday of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, you sang a beautiful Shabad, Satguru Nanak Aaye Ne.
Yes.
I just want to ask you, how do you manage to learn Gurmukhi too?
It's God's blessing, sir, and passion for music, really. I mean, I have had the privilege of singing also 2 Shabads for Jagjit Singh Ji when he was alive. This was beautiful. Thakur tum sarnai aaya, utar gayo mere man ka sansar, jab te darsan paaya, Thakur tum sarnai. So I've sung Shabads like this, and Harshdeep Kaur, who's a very, very, very dear, she's very dear to us. She was putting this project together, and it's a blessing to be able to sing on Guru Nanak Ji's 550th, anniversary. I really feel privileged, and staying in the industry for so long, I'm able to sing in all these multiple languages. So God has been more than kind. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless.
Well, Shankar, you had said that, it would be a 45-minute show. I think they're close to 90 minutes.
Thank you very much, everybody, for tolerating me.
With your permission, 2-3 more questions, please, if you don't mind.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Brigadier Sridharan has got a question for you.
Yeah. I had the privilege of attending some of your concerts, and even with Rasika, you are given a clip in YouTube and everything. When you sing your swaras, it comes like Swara Lagu, which normally, as you know, in the Carnatic music comment, I thought we always remember a person like Madhur Mani who comes out
yes,
with the fluent swaras. Like that, you also come out. Is it something you made a special effort, or it just naturally comes to you?
No,
Swara
sir,
Lagu
it's a very interesting question. As actually nobody asked me this question, because my relationship with swaras is very, very special. It's like I feel swaras. I feel that it's right inside me. I feel very strongly about swaras, even more than alapana. I'm very close to swaras because swaras is like it's the alphabets of music. I was just explaining this to some of the students, which I'd like to mention to some people who are not very familiar with music. If I say the word apple, apple is the word that we utter, whereas the syllables behind is A-P-P-L-E. Similarly, if I sing this, but behind this, the swaras are Sariga Sari Nisa, Sariga Sari Nisa. So this is the alphabets of music. Swaras are the alphabets of music. Or if you're engineers, you all know this is the binary of any program. So it's my instant connect, as I told you, when I listened, when I first took the harmonium, the connection between decoding a melody. You sing any melody, and I can decode it into the swaras. I've decoded this melody immediately and I produced it. So this capability was there in me. That's why the affinity towards swaras. It's a very interesting question, actually. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So that's it, sir.
Yeah, one last question I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
We'll wind up and I hand over to Air Marshal Varthaman for his words. Now, have you given a thought to penning down your success story, your musical journey? Is your autobiography or something on the way? That's a long way to go.
I don't feel that old anyway. But there is the IMB ministry. They have come out with a documentary, which I would request you all to see, because it's very beautifully shot by Deepti Sivan, who's Santosh Sivan's sister-in-law, and it's called Decoding Shankar. So watch that. It played in all the festivals all over the world. So it's a very interesting film which they made about me. I feel very strange talking about that. But yes, I'm writing a book called Demystifying Music. All this that I was talking to you about, how the relationship between notes and swaras and melody, and what is it exactly, and what is a rag, what is a melody, what exactly is a melody? When you talk about a melody, what exactly is a melody? So I'm writing all these things and creating a book called Demystifying Music. But I'm very slow at it, so I have to do it. I have to finish it somehow. Yeah.
Great. Well, Mr. Shankar Mahadevan, thank you very much. I mean, it's been a fantastic evening. We never could have thought that on a Vijay Diwas, we would have a person like you, talking to we veterans. And
thank you, sir.
I mean, we are totally, flabbergasted with your spontaneous response to my request. And even though I had not connected with you till about 6 in the evening, but then the last minute changes in the plans we made, and I think we have done a good show. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful. Now, I will I'll request Air Marshal Varthaman, our president, to kindly say a few words. Vartha sir, over to you.
I don't think we could have had a greater victory celebration than this today, Mr. Shankar Mahadevan. I mean, you really made us proud. And your multifaceted talents. I don't know which is your specialty, whether it's music or cooking or oracle. I really don't know. You're a specialist. It's been an honor to host you, And thank you for spending such a beautiful time with us. You have taken us to a completely different level. You make the country proud, actually. And
Thank
the
you, sir.
way you are taking music and still, deeply footed into our culture and traditions, it's really nice. I wish
Thank you, sir.
there are more and more. And the way you're spreading it, your program which you're teaching the children, you're spreading the gospel to millions and millions. And we veterans, I think all of us are above 65, I think, except probably Harsha. And, so our blessings to your campaign. May it succeed, and may you spread the good word about our country and our music. God bless you. Jai Hind. Thank you.
I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I thank all of you all for giving me this opportunity that I could spend these few minutes with all you veterans. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vatta sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Ravi, do you want to play that? You want to try? And the launch. Mudima. Muted. You're muted, da. No. No. I'm sorry, it's not working.
Ravi. Sorry, it's not working.
It's playing for me, sir.
Okay.
But there's some disconnect, like it happened in the AGM also. So there's some technical problem. We'll sort it out.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was a nice evening we spent. And anybody wants to say anything?
No, thank you.
Wonderful evening, sir.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Having this program. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice program.
Thank you so much for a lovely program.
We all enjoyed it.
Vatta sir. Actually,